Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Happy Monday to you. It's August the 7th. I hope you had a great weekend. Lots of sunshine across Acadiana over the weekend. And more to come this week, and even some cooler temperatures after today. Real quick shout out to my friends over at Ritter Consulting Engineers. Before the storm hits, make sure the stuff that matters is in Matterport. Ritter Consulting Engineers can create 3D imaging of your home or business for insurance purposes, and it will all be in Matterport. Call 984-8498 or visit their website. A lot of clear skies here in Acadiana. Temperatures are relatively comfortable. Most of us have managed to drop into the 60s across Acadiana, but we've got some 50s in store for you as we head toward the mid part of the week. And on the traffic cams, everything seems to be moving along just fine when it comes to our weather forecast. We don't have any fog out there, but we do have clear skies. There will be some bright sunshine, though, if you're heading off toward the east. Remember, kids heading back to school today, temperatures hovering right around 70 early this morning, and then hovering in the upper 80s to around 90 a little later this afternoon. Temperatures again across Acadiana have dropped down mainly in the upper 60s across the region with a little bit of a light breeze, and there aren't any showers being detected on our local radar this time around. Meanwhile, the skies should remain clear. There is a frontal boundary that's about halfway across Arkansas, and that is going to push through sometime into the overnight and early part of the day into Tuesday. And then, of course, everybody's been talking about Hurricane Milton, which is still rapidly intensifying there over the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico, moving just slightly south of due east. So there are going to be some issues there along the northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. And of course, our friends over in Florida are gearing up for yet another hurricane, and it's likely it's going to be a major hurricane, just like we saw with Hurricane Helene just about a week and a half ago. That frontal boundary will continue to surge southward. The upper level pattern should eventually catch Milton and start to make it turn more toward the northeast. That's why Florida is in the crosshairs, but you can see on the left there over Louisiana that cooler, drier air is filtering in, and as that front pushes down into the Gulf waters, it should also help to steer Milton away from the region. Milton just right off the edge of this forecast map, and it's going to be moving just north of the Yucatan before making a little bit more of a turn toward the northeast. But because of our front coming through and a pretty good pressure gradient between a ridge of high pressure here over the southeast and low pressure associated with Milton, it looks like things are going to be a little on the rough side in the offshore waters. Nearshore waters won't be terrible, but in the offshore, far offshore waters beyond 30 nautical miles, we do have a small craft advisory in effect. Check out Milton. It's still in a really good place for further strengthening, and we think this could possibly be a Category 4 or even a Category 5 hurricane, perhaps in the next 24 hours, as it moves very close to the northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. Winds are now at 125 miles per hour. We found out it was a Cat 3 around 6 o'clock with 120 mile per hour winds, and those winds have increased just within the past hour to hour and a half. Forecast track models are pretty consistent moving across the west coast of Florida, although when you're still out 2.5 days, there's still about a 75-mile range where it comes to your margin of error. But check this out. Many of our hurricane forecast models are going in the Cat 5 range here in the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, there is a bit of a dip before landfall, so there's going to be some wind shear and maybe a little bit of cooler water there right along the Florida coast that might help them out a little bit. But most models in the next 60 to 72 hours when landfall is expected should be at least a Category 3 hurricane. Storm surge is going to be intense once again off the west coast. Remember, these folks dealt with a lot of storm surge with Hurricane Helene just a little while ago. And the winds, tropical storm force winds, are probably going to start to arrive on the west coast of Florida as early as tomorrow night. And there's a quick look at a couple of webcams that we're going to keep an eye on. That is St. Petersburg and also down in Fort Myers. We'll show those hurricane cams over the next couple of days as Milton tracks toward the west coast of Florida. Believe it or not, we still have a couple of other named storms out in the Atlantic Ocean. For the first time during the early part of the month of October, we have 3 ongoing hurricanes, all consecutively there over the Atlantic Basin. Leslie and Kirk are still out over the mid part of the Atlantic. Of course, we'll go over everything tropics on Let's Talk Tropics later today, live at noon, right here on Acadiana Weather Today. A lot of sunshine today. Still on the warm side, though, but it will be dry, so Heat index value is not really an issue today. Your high 92, falling back to 64 tonight and only 85 tomorrow with a nice northerly breeze. And then 59 the nighttime low Tuesday night with Wednesday's high 85. And fine weather is expected to stick around for us here locally for the rest of the week. Well, I hope you enjoy Acadiana weather today. If you do, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those notifications. And in between broadcasts, make sure you follow my social media pages both on Facebook and X. If I don't see you at noon, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on Tuesday.